And welcome to week 2 of INTS 4498. This week, our topic is What's Your Story? An overview of the GPS grad portfolio story process. So here you see our homepage, and we're going to click on the course modules for this week. And you see in the course module for this week, we have the module itself, discussion 1, which is not due until August 30th at 11 p.m., and then frequently asked questions about the course. You can also find the frequently asked questions posted here as well, and any discussions you might want to start about your ideas for GPS grad portfolio story as they evolve during the semester. Okay. Also, I just want to go back for 1 second to note in the discussion 1 that for the networking introductions, you're going to be introducing yourself and looking at the guest networking resources that we have, and let me know what you think about them. Okay, well, thank you. Let's look at the module. Okay, when you open the module for this week, as I said before, our topic is What's Your Story? An overview of the GPS grad portfolio story process. As I mentioned earlier, our 6 assignments will be developing the portfolio, as well as some of our discussions will address the process and examples and reflective and public portfolios as well, and the formats. Here you'll see I will have your video posted and an introduction. As you prepare for life after college, creating your GPS grad portfolio story is an empowering way for you to reflect on your learning, integrate your learning, and prepare to share your learning story. This module is an overview of the process of creating the GPS grad portfolio story. As an aside, why GPS? Because I think it's a guide to reflect on your past, present, and future, and look how you want to put your story together. In this module, we will focus on defining the GPS grad portfolio story process. We will review samples of the GPS grad portfolio stories, and we will focus on the 2 parts of the 5 phases of creating your GPS grad portfolio story, reflective and private, which is reflect, assess, and collect, and the best of show portfolio, which is your private, which is your public portfolio, connect, and express. Okay, so let's look at the objectives. Our learning objectives will be item objective 1 and 5. So after you complete the tasks in this week, you'll be able to identify the steps of developing a portfolio using the GPS grad portfolio story process and examine sample student portfolios from INTS that the students have volunteered with their written permission for allowing me to showcase by format, and identify formats for the portfolio. You'll see that I have 5 steps to the process and we have 6 assignments because one of those assignments is a reflective summary of a volunteer or internship or service experience you might have had that is I've been requested to include as part of your major, and that will be assignment 4, but we'll get to that soon. Okay, your module activities. Estimated time to do this should take you about an hour and 25 minutes. Number 1, you will review the GPS grad portfolio story process by reviewing the required content, which includes the GPS portfolio live binder and the grad portfolio story video, which is right here. You'll review sample portfolios of students who have taken INTS 4498 in the grad portfolio story integrative studies sample live binder, one of your ebooks, and begin to develop ideas for designing and developing your own portfolio. You will review sample formats for the GPS story, and I have this included in a live binder, and I've only provided formats for you that are free. Also, one thing as an aside, it's not an aside, we'll talk about this more, but I would like to make sure I mention again that the KSU Writing Center now has a website for putting together a portfolio, and I highly recommend you please go check that out as well. And also, they work in conjunction with the career planning and the Department of Career Planning and Development as well. The contact person for portfolios there is Amanda Long, and Mila Maxfield is the contact at the Writing Center. So please review. This is an overview of the GPS. This movie is an overview of the GPS portfolio process as well as testimony from previous students that have done this portfolio. Um, then here I've included the ebooks that you'll be looking at this week, the grad portfolio story process, the samples, and the formats. As I mentioned earlier, when you open up our ebooks, I don't have them by chapter, I have them by topic with lots of resources. So we just go through them and look at the resources and this information as well. And if you have any questions, you can either write me an email, post it on frequently asked questions, or call, or, you know, just please ask me questions as well. All right, let's go back to week 2. Okay, so what's due this week? Actually, no coursework is due this week. However, I want you to know that all coursework is open, the 10 discussions and the 6 assignments. I've included all the resources that you would need to complete those as well, so I'm just letting you know. And once again, a reminder, if something is going to be handed in late past the deadline, please let me know in advance so that you know, I can grant you an extension. Otherwise, if work comes in late, as I mentioned earlier in the syllabus, it's worth half credit, and I'd rather not have that happen. So just let me know if something's coming in late. And with you don't have to put a reason, just say, ask for an extension on the deadline, and I will grant that for you. Okay, because I want you to feel that you have time to reflect about your learning in the assignments and in the discussions. Okay, what's coming up? So next week, our first discussion is due on August 30th, and I leave plenty of time so you can look around the class and get acclimated to how our courses run. All right, please review the upcoming graded coursework that you will see here. On discussion 2, creating your GPS grad portfolio story, reflective and public. This is more continued overview, and you'll write what you think about, what you've learned, and just about the whole process. Estimated time should take you about an hour. And the assignment is due creating a reflective portfolio story. Phase 1, reflect, and that's when you'll answer a series of questions on your learning story and also leading to creating an elevator speech. I have all the resources that you need, the rubrics, and in the assignments I have a video posted with the directions for each one. For the discussions too and the assignments, I have no required length. You write what works for you and which learns for you. Okay, let's go over the checklist. So you're going to read the grad portfolio story process live binder and the other live binders as well. You will look at the videos attached. You will be doing discussion 1 for next week, and you'll review the upcoming discussion 1 and 2. And then what's next? Next week will be creating your portfolio, and here's your live e-binder, your for your live binder ebook on creating your reflective portfolio. And again, one day closer to graduation. And as I said, let me know if you have any questions. Dr. Joni, and thanks for taking the class.